In order to be who you want to be, you need to break free. You need to break free from these perceptions of life, that from the trap of your mind where you think that everyone is out to get you, where you think the whole world is against you, where you think that all the circumstances you're placed in are against you. They're inherently obstacles. They're not. Not everything is an obstacle. Not everything is something you have to climb or face. Not everything is a challenge. It's really a matter of knowing who you are and embracing it, and challenging all this societal and cultural expectations. You don't need to conform to who others want you to be. You don't need to be someone that you're not. You just need to be you. And that's not to say you aren't already you, but you need to let the real you from inside come out. And I've been realizing that throughout the past half year or so, because prior to 2024, I used to really be influenced by a lot of other people. I was worried about what they thought of me, what their actions meant, what they would say when I'm not around. And I used to live by those expectations. I used to live by that same worry or that same need to look behind my shoulder. But eventually I realized that, how am I supposed to enjoy life if I have to constantly look over my shoulder worrying about what some person that isn't me or doesn't know me has to say about myself? There's no point. It's like a cat chasing its own tail. You're just gonna end up hurting yourself. You're wasting your time. And recently I had an epiphany when I was in my acting summer camp, right? We did High School Musical, and it's a Disney musical, obviously. You wouldn't expect that you could learn something from a damn Disney show. But I mean, if you really look at the lyrics, and the whole story of the show, it's directly telling you that you don't need to be who people think you are. You don't need to be who your family wants you to be. You just need to be you. You don't have to be a specific thing. You can be multiple things. You can be anything you want. You can do anything you want. I mean, check out the main lyrics of the most popular song, Breaking Free. I mean, we're soaring, we're flying. There's not a star in heaven that we can't reach. There isn't a star in heaven that we can't reach. Whatever you want to do in life, you have to go ahead and chase it. Whatever you want, whatever goals you have, whatever ambitions you have, anything that you want to achieve, you just have to go after that. And I've come to realize that in that summer camp, acting is what I want to do. I don't want to live in an office job my whole life. I don't want to live life not chasing my dreams, not chasing my passion, not doing what I want to do, not feeling like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I know I'm meant for greater things, and not to be egotistical, I'm not trying to be overly confident or nonchalant, but I know I'm meant for something, and I know I'm here in this world for a reason, whether there is a God or not, whether it's the universe, whatever you believe in. But you're on this earth for a reason. And I think part of the reason that everyone is on here is to chase their purpose, to become a better version of themselves every single day, to get closer to that goal that they have, and then set new goals. Because the moment that you think you stopped growing is when you die. Because what's the opposite of growth? Decay. And when you decay, that means you're dying. So if you're not constantly growing, and that's not to say that you always have to improve. Because sometimes it's fine to have a rest day. It's fine to, just lay around in bed and not chase after anything. We need rest. We need recovery. It's important to have those days. But it's also important that when you actually are chasing something, you give it your all. You chase it with 100% of what you can. Not every day is 100% of your 100%. Sometimes you can only get 50%, but that means that was your 100% of the day. That was all you could give. And I'm a firm believer that anyone can chase what they want to do. If you really want it enough, you can make it happen. And brain fart. But as I was saying with High School Musical, breaking free, there's not a star in heaven that we can't reach. And then after that he says, you know the world can see us. But that's not true. That's funny. I mean, yeah, the world can see you, especially now with social media. I mean, there's a bunch of ways that you can put yourself out there. But they can see you, but they also don't care about you. And that's not to say that people don't love you or people don't hate you, but it's also it's a reassuring fact that everyone only cares about themselves. You go to school, you're worried about how you look like, what you're doing with your hands, but really everyone else is worried about the same thing. So why would they be focused on what you're doing, right? No one cares, no one gives a damn. And if they do, that's because they're projecting. They're worried about themselves, but so that they're not worried, they worry about what you're doing. Like, if someone knows that they're wearing a nice shirt, they're not gonna go out and insult someone else's shirt. They're gonna be looking for someone to compliment their shirt. And if they're looking for compliments, usually they're gonna compliment someone else's shirt, not insult someone else's. When you're happy, usually you try to make other people happy. But when you're sad, you're either gonna try to amplify your own sadness, or you're gonna try to make you're gonna try to bring other people down. Usually that's how it works. It's like a domino effect. You start it. So that's why you also have to start being you. The moment you take that first step to be who you want to be, the moment that you knock that first domino, the moment that you lay that first brick, that first foundation, that's when you really get to be able to chase who you want to be. That's when you really get to live a life without regrets, live life without being afraid of who you are or who you want to be. You have to stop running away from the truth, from the real you, because what's the point of living if you're living in a facade? You shouldn't chase after a false goal. I mean, just because your parents want you to be a doctor or a lawyer, I hate using those examples because those are good careers, but they're also the most sought after careers. And just because everyone else wants to do it doesn't mean that's what you have to do. And I truly believe that any form of work, anything that you want to do is viable. The money that you make from it, sure, that's important to survive, but that shouldn't be the primary reason why you're chasing something. And you shouldn't stick to some status quo. That's another song in the show. Just because others think that you should be. It's so cliquey. It's so Disney high school. It's such a, to separate groups based on what their interests are, or based on what their position in society are. That's so lame. Be who you want to be. Hang out with who you want to hang out with. Just because you hang out with some, guy that is nerdier in comics or watches anime doesn't mean you're a weirdo. Doesn't mean they're a weirdo. They just have niche interests. They're not. You don't have to be mainstream or act cool to be cool. Who cares about being fucking cool? There's no point to that. Because at the end of the day, we're all gonna die. And if you live your life by the rules someone else has set, you're never gonna be happy. You're never gonna be satisfied. You're never gonna be comfortable in your own shoes. And I really came to realize that in the summer camp. That was the happiest in my life, the most locked in I ever was in my life doing something. I've never felt such a passion, such a drive to learn, because me, when I started out, I can't sing for shit. Sorry, language. I can't sing. I did what I could. I'm already a good actor. I'm proficient in acting. I'm decent at dancing. But singing? Oh my God, no, I started off terribly. But I put in the effort because I wanted that role. I wanted to be Troy Bolton in the show. And I made it happen. And that's not because I knew the director. The director knows the other two possible candidates for the role for way longer than he's known me. And yeah, I look like the guy. But I know what I did. I know the effort I put to improve my singing capabilities as quick as I can. Because I knew that if I want that role, I knew if that's what I want to do, then I have to give it my all. And it really comes down to how much you want something and what you're willing to do to achieve that. It goes hand in hand. It's like a formula. It requires effort, but it also requires passion. It requires the drive. It requires knowing what you want to do too. Sometimes you have to figure that out. And if you don't know what you want to do, you should really take time and think to yourself, what is it that you want to do with the rest of your life? And most of the time we lock that away because we're told when we're younger that our childhood dreams are unreachable, that we shouldn't chase them. They're childish, they're lame, or they're unrealistic. We're never gonna get that far in what we do. And that just sets you up for failure because you never even tried. You never even knew if you were capable of that. So to say that you have no potential when you haven't even started is untruthful. It's just setting you up for failure. And you won't ever get far in anything that you want to do if you set up limitations from the get-go. You need to be open. You need to realize your potential. You have 100. You don't start off at 0 out of 100. You have to start off at 1 out of 100. Then you start adding to that fraction until you make it a whole. And another brain fart. Anyways, back to High School Musical, Breaking Free. You know the world can see us. You know the world can see us in a way that's different from who we are. That goes after. You know the world can see us in a way that's different from who we are. In a way that's different from who we are. The world can see us in a way that's different from who you are. That's saying that how the world perceives you doesn't matter because you know who you are. You shouldn't live to the perceptions of someone else. Sometimes they create this figure, this inaccurate depiction of yourself, and that isn't you. I mean, when I started in 9th grade after quarantine at my high school, I kind of adopted this really corny humor, and I started posting TikToks that they were, in my opinion, pretty corny looking back now. So I kind of like adopted that persona. People kept calling me corny, cheesy, cringy, and they would shut me down. I mean, they would talk trash about me in group chats all the time. I mean, I'm not saying I was the center of attention or anything like that. I'm far from it. But I couldn't do anything without being labeled as cringy or corny. And that really hurt my self-esteem. I'm like, yeah, I want to be a funny guy, but I also don't want to be a laughing stock. I don't want to be treated as some kind of joke. But then I realized, who cares? No one. Because what's corny or cheesy or cringy to someone, that's genuinely funny to someone else. Humor is subjective. And if I find something funny, I'm going to laugh. You don't control that. And that's how you should live life. You should do what you want to do without being controlled by someone else, or without what's authentic to you. You need to be authentic to the real you. If something makes you laugh at it. If something makes you sad, be sad about it, cry. If something makes you mad, voice it, express that, be angry. But you really can't. You shouldn't put buffers. You shouldn't put blockades on your emotions, on your actions, on what you do, who you hang out with. it's a matter of chasing who you want to be. And the show also, it brings up in the song, this is one of my favorite parts because it does a little harmony. But your faith gives me strength to believe. And then we're breaking free. The strength to believe matters in the people around you, but also in yourself. If you don't have the strength to believe in yourself, then you won't go far. You need to have strength in yourself. You need to have faith. You need to believe. You need to be true to yourself. You need to understand that if you want to do something, your belief can't be weak. Your belief can't be subtle. You need to strongly believe in yourself, because if it's a weak belief, it'll fall apart easily without a foundation. It'll fall over like Jenga, like if it doesn't have a good support system. And you need a strong belief. Without strong belief, whatever you want to do in your life, you're just gonna get knocked down by any insult, any resistance, any objection. You can't limit yourself to that. You can't throw away what you've built up. You can't. If you know that the sky is blue and then someone tells you it's yellow, you're gonna look at them like they're crazy, right? That's how you need to be with yourself. If someone tells you that you're stupid, that you're ugly, that you're not funny, that's how you should look at them. You should look at them like they're crazy, because you know what you are. I have brown hair. Someone comes up to me, they tell me I'm blonde, I'm gonna look at them like they're insane, right? That's how it should be when it comes to your confidence, when it comes to your belief in yourself. I'm an actor, 100%. Someone comes up to me and they say my acting skills are terrible, I'm not gonna let that, I'm gonna laugh at their face. I'm like, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Who do you think you are, right? And that's not to say I can't take criticism, but that's to say that I'm not gonna let that criticism destroy what I've built up, destroy my confidence, destroy my belief in what I am. And, maybe the sky is yellow, right? Maybe it is for one day. But every other day it's blue. Sometimes you have your off days. Sometimes I'm not as good as an actor as I could be. But you know what the sky usually is. You know what the sky can be. So if it's usually blue, then you know you can reach that high point. You know that the sun sets. You know it comes up. Same thing as a person. You have your ups and lows. You have your highs and lows. You have your ups and downs. And the sun always comes back up, just as it always goes back down. And once you realize that, you'll never fall down permanently. You'll always manage to get back up. You'll always manage to fly. You always manage to soar. And all in all, we're all in this together. And we're all in this together. Damn, I really stretched this out. Wow. Anyways, that was my first attempt at a video. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, I'm probably gonna title it "Breaking Free." See, I would have held it up like this for the whole video, but still kind of nervous. I'm trying to start this YouTube thing, and I don't want to. I'm out in public, and it's like 11 p.m. But you still feel, even me. I'm trying to break away from that, not being afraid of what other people think of me, and I'm still afraid of someone judging me at night for recording a video at the playground. But yeah, we need to break free and be you. To be who you want to be, you need to break free. Thank you. Have a good day.